Welcome to probably a better version of Book of Jake on YouTube, because I was doing vlogs for the longest time, and I hooked up at Adam Lobo TV, and he's graciously set this up for me. So, I'm networking a little bit and using a little bit of my networks. It's a symbiotic thing. But thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me on this episode. And I thought the first thing that we should talk about is something that's really dear to me. It's discipline versus motivation. On my Instagram, all the time people say, "Hey, wow, you're so disciplined. You're so disciplined. You motivate me to do better." And I always think to myself, actually, it is something that I keep doing as a repetition. So it's not really something unique to me. Let me explain. So, you get up in the morning. Most of you will check your phone first. Most of you will brush your teeth, or you'll go and have a shower. And you do this instinctively because why? You have already inbuilt this in yourself. So to me, this is the same thing as discipline, as what you're trying to achieve. Motivation is something like, I always tell people, you go and watch a Rocky movie, you come out, you saw him, and in the movie he's like drinking 6 eggs, and then the next day you are drinking 6 eggs and you're motivated, and then the third day you just forgot what you're doing, because it's tough. It's so hard to carry on with this motivation thing. So I always ask people to focus on doing one thing and keep doing it until you can add on another. Let me explain, okay? So Simon Sinek says this very well. He says, you go to the gym the first day. You go to the gym and you work out. You feel really great. But you come back and you look at the mirror and you say the same thing. Nothing happens. But as you keep doing it, probably in 30 days, what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of change, probably a little bit of biceps. You can see a little bit of chest. And then if you're Indians, your calves might take longer to grow. That's a joke, internal joke. But you know what I'm saying? It takes time for change. But the thing is, you got to continuously commit to the habit of doing it. So what happens is most people suddenly, after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, they give up. They say, you know what? It's really too hard for me. It's really too hard for me. And they give up. And it's not going to happen. A classic example is losing weight. You spend like 10 years putting on 50 kilos and then you expect to lose it in 6 months. It's not going to happen because, again, like I said, this is a thing that is accumulated over years, and then you put yourself in that pressure. You're motivated. You saw a movie. You saw all these Instagram guys with 6 packs and says, do it in 3 weeks, 3 months. Ridiculous. If that can happen, everybody will be walking around with a 6-pack. The truth of the matter is you have to apply discipline. Think about it like you're brushing your teeth every day. Nobody told you to brush your teeth every day, but you get up and you instinctively do it. I know 1 or 2 people don't, but let's not get into that. The same thing with showering also. Instinctively, you're doing it. Instinctively, your body releases ghrelin at a certain time to tell you to eat. There's a hunger hormone. So this is called discipline. So we build this discipline. What you need to do is to just focus on the discipline. Focus on, what? I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have a glass of water. I'm going to delay my caffeine for a while. Go get some sunlight. Go get some exercise. And do it every day. Over long periods of time, you're going to see it. Like anything in life, like one of my sort of resolutions this year is to be able to pick up another language, actually. So every day I sort of learn 1 or 2 phrases, and hopefully by the end of the year, if you can learn 2 words a day, by the end of the year, like 700 words, and it's just almost conversant in a new language. So that is the power of discipline. Motivation, on the other hand, is very sporadic. You are motivated for a while. You see Instagram, you're scrolling, wow, oh my God, I'm excited. All these words. You watch The Rock, you watch David Goggins, you watch all these people, and then it disappears. My style is I write things down. I'm a stickler for writing things down because I don't trust myself. And I'll be very honest about this. I really don't trust myself because I'm probably the most laziest person you'll meet. But because of my ability to embrace discipline, what I've done is I write it down. I've got a to-do list in the morning. I get up in the morning, which actually has been done the previous night. I write it down and then I tick it off. Even if it's a small thing like, hey, Jake, pay your bills. That's what I'll do. And I'll write this down consistently. Eventually, because I'm writing it down and I'm ticking off and I'm looking at the things that I didn't accomplish that day, and I says, you know what, I should have done this. Why didn't I do this? Oh, I was watching an extra episode of, Peaky Blinders on Netflix or something like that. That's why I didn't do it. And I'll write down why also. So you have to tell yourself, look, you are responsible for your discipline. And it also, boils down to what you want to achieve. So to me, I want to achieve so many things in life. But the only way I can do it is to actually embrace discipline. And, there is no substitute for hard work. We are all given 24 hours a day. You heard this cliche before. We are all given 24 hours a day. In fact, I argued with a professor about time management. I said, I'm not an advocate of time management. I'm more an advocate of self-discipline and, self-management. Because have you ever tried doing a plank for 30 seconds? No matter what you do, the plank 30 seconds will not go faster. You'll be stuck there until, oh my God, I got to do it. So my advice to you, and I speak about this in length in the book of Jake, which is do one thing, do it again tomorrow, do it again day after tomorrow, and keep doing it until it becomes a routine, like brushing your teeth or combing your hair, which I don't, or having a shower. Like people ask me, oh, you go to the gym every day. I said, and I know people who are gym rats like me, and first it is, if you don't go, something is wrong, Although, you need a rest and all that. But even on my rest day, I'll probably go and just sit in the gym and have a walk or read or, or check my emails or stuff like that. So it's become I've become so fixated with the gym behavior. It's become discipline, like eating, Most of the times, I tend to eat healthy, but on occasion, I tend to let go. So if 80% of the time I'm already doing the right thing, that 20% is, you can sort of give a little bit of levy there. But however, again, discipline, motivation is fantastic. I watch, some of my icons are like David Goggins, like Melanie Robbins, Tom Bilyeu, who does this amazing podcast, John Cena, all these people, who go up and over. While I'm motivated watching them, I realize nothing's going to move until I move. There's a great saying, if the mountain doesn't come to Muhammad, Muhammad must go to a mountain. Same thing, everything that you want in life is separated by your ability to actually harvest your discipline. Other than that, nothing's going to move. We talk about luck, and that's a story for another day. We talk about luck a lot of time, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. So again, like I said, motivation is great. I know a lot of motivated people who, how many times have you asked yourself, I want to start this diet. How many diets have you started and you stopped? Why? Because you expect things to happen immediately. You expected change. You expected the damage you have put yourself through in 10 years to disappear in 3 weeks. And then you blame the diet, And again, motivation can only take you so far. It's very short. Cut through the chase. I'll tell you a story about, I adapt Mamba mentality a lot, which is Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, one of my heroes. And he said this. He said, most people train twice a day. Now, NBA basketball players, NBA, they train twice a day. They go at 7, they train till 9, they come back, the rest, and then they go again. But Kobe gets up at 3, and he trains between 4 to 6, comes back, has his meal, and then goes again, comes back, rests, and he goes again, and he comes back and rests, and he goes again. So he trains 4 times a day while everybody is training twice. Think about it. And this is something that opened up my mind, He said, if you think about this, if I'm doing this for 5 years, the gap that I have on you cannot be closed. Even if you escalate it on a certain period. Imagine after 5 years, you have the discipline. You delayed all gratification. You're really pushing. You're pushing through, Suddenly, you've outworked everybody and the gap is so far ahead. You're so far from everybody that even if they times 3, They will not be able to catch up. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Your discipline, as you keep driving it, will start to, accumulate, and you'll start to grow exponentially. And that is why always focus on doing, that one thing that you promise yourself. Number two, keep doing it, be repetitious about it, and slowly add. There's a great saying in bodybuilding, which I really like, hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the only way to grow your muscle is to keep adding weights slowly. In other words, if you go to the gym and you do a 10-pound or 10-kilo bicep every day, for the first month, you might add on some size. But it gets easy and you keep doing that. There's hypertrophy also means slowing down or, doing more reps and all that. But any which way, you have to do more than you have done before. Mike Menzer, one of my heroes from bodybuilding, also said this. It's not how much you do, it's the quality of it, and keep growing. So the same thing with your discipline. If you go, and I told my kids this, if you go to standard one and you do 1 + 1 is 2, and the teacher says, my God, good job, you go back, your father gives you a hug, oh son, you're so smart. But try doing 1 + 1 when you're Form 5. Your father probably will show you the back of his hand. You're supposed to do calculus. So again, like I said, apply the discipline. Everything gets easier. But when it gets easier, try to add on a little bit. Like today, I was walking around Adam Lobo TV, and I remember this guy, Adam, who just was walking around one camera. Now he's got 15, 20 cameras, and he's grown his business. And I do remember, and actually I'm very, very impressed, and I do remember telling him, and says, go for your passions. And this is all, again, attributed to doing one thing at a time and going at it. You will have bad days. If you don't have bad days, you will not enjoy the good days. You will have times where, I keep using this word gecko. In the book of Jake, you'll hear the word gecko. Gecko means chicha. Have you ever heard yourself doing the gecko sound? Let me explain, okay? You set the alarm at 6 o'clock, okay? The alarm rings. You press snooze, and then you make the gecko sound. It's okay lah. I get up at 6:10. That sound can change your life. Have you ever heard it? I'm sure you know. It's okay lah. That is you trying to con yourself. Once you've established that you can walk away from this, that means the minute you do that, you identify you are trying to fool yourself, you win. I don't allow that anymore. I used to do that so much. It's okay lah. Leg day. Do another chest workout lah. That sound. Automatically, I'm telling Jake, you're fooling yourself. When you've established that, you got no place to run. I know that for a fact. There are days where I sleep at 1, 2 o'clock, and I get up at 5:30 to go for my first PTs, 3.5 hours and stuff like that. And again, it's all due to that hardcore discipline programming, So anyway, I'll leave you with this thought. It's not easy, but it's not impossible also. In other words, be honest to yourself. The only person that is standing in your way of your progress is you, and pardon my expression, and the bullshit you tell yourself. So you have to be honest with yourself. Like, I want it all. I want to see how far can I take this. I'm a boy from, father was a government servant to all that. All that is excuses. But how far can you take this? If it fails, but I'm still better than I was yesterday. And, I credit my good friend Chen Chao for telling me this. This is 1% better daily. So start now, even if you say, and don't set so lofty targets. I want to lose 25 kilos in 1 month. Who are you to lose 25 kilos in 1 month? Even if you stop eating, you won't be able to do it. Set proper targets and work 1 day at a time. Start with 1 pound, start with 1 book, start with 1 step, start with 1 workout, start with 1 clean meal, start with 1. The power of 1 is incredible. So I'll leave you with that. Yes, you might be motivated hearing this podcast, but Please don't be more disciplined. And before I let you go, that's the book. Book of Jake, www.bookofjake.my. You can go there, and if you want me to inscribe it, please let me know. I will definitely do it for you. Till I see you again, thank you. And again, Adam Lobo TV, thanks for setting this up. Thank you, guys.